lot of good dogs got killed to produce better dogs. Beings fight, you know? I don't know why we fight, but we fight. And after a lot of observation, you can just go, yeah, it's good for the pecking order in that particular group to improve their genes.
That's so cutie. Hey, boy. Okay, you like mine. I like mine.
So then we can understand that. But then you bring that into an urban setting, and you have this being, through breeding circumstances, has developed a tenacious attitude to spread its genes, to dominate the environment because of extreme self-belief. So then this being wants to kill all competition, so it has complete control over the quality of children they can produce.
Yeah, right in there. Okay. Slow down.
To proliferate the environment, you know what I mean? When you've got that amount of spiritual confidence, you get too big for the environment, you know? And then the environment says, the presence of this apex humiliates who I am and what I know. So a fit dog and a fit human being, without saying anything to fat people, annoys them. Do you know what I mean? It's like they psychologically think they're not into getting fat, so they must be judging me. No, we just want the space to perfect as best we can what we're made of. So, keep is about preservation. It's about taking a being, a species, into your environment, understanding its language and how it thrives. One of the most nervous situations an apex animal can go through is injury, obesity, toxicity. And lack of will to live because of what I just said. Most of the environment wants to live in that toxic space. But then certain individuals will selectively breed together and create something on a DNA level that needs to express itself on a completely different level. And we need to create environments for that and partnerships to make that synergy work. So I see myself in a villy dog.
Bring it here, Karan.
And because of that relationship, I've observed how many psychopaths and sociopaths we've got in this environment, walking on the street with these obese dogs, of which they know nothing about their nature, their origin, where their DNA flourishes, what weight they should be to be incredible companions. Instead, these people want slaves, convenient slaves. You know, I know so many people that call themselves dog guardians, and they feed their dogs probiotics and raw food and all this type of shit. They're like, there's loads of them online and shit like that, but they cut the balls off of the dog because they're not fit. They'll castrate the animal so the animal fits into their life. Like, this dog has got docked ears, but I never had this dog from a puppy. She's 5 years old. I was gifted her. And it was at the right time. I needed her, and I think she needed me. So these are beings, and unless you're willing to dedicate your life to simulate something that makes these animals feel like they're not going to be vulnerable, they're not going to starve, they feel powerful, and they're as close to their fighting weight as possible, Yeah, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? We fight to live, all of us do, because we're dying. So the closer I can get me and this dog to that fit state so we don't feel vulnerable, surely that's civilized, right?
Don't know how I'm going to do this. Stay there.
Cool.
Pull it up a bit more.
Why?
The chicken in the metal bit.
Yeah.
Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Got it?
Yeah.
Alright, out the way, Karan. Alright, don't pull her. 1 second. Karan, very dangerous.
Stop. Stop saying me then.
It's alright, cool.
Don't stop there.
It's gone now. Go and get me stick.
Now she's cold.
Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, wait down. Go.
Sneller.
So, self-preservation is important to give nature its rights, I suppose, or your nature, the environment is rights.
Dog is dreaming, man. You hear her?
Yeah.
Drive never sleeps. Yeah. What was the question again?
So, like, self-preservation, is that important because people don't preserve themselves because they can't take on the
Bro,
responsibility?
on a micro level, the amount of rushing around that's going on in our bodies right now to preserve, to allow us to breathe, it's for us to experience something. It's like the micro world. I just like, they got together and they created a synergy and symbiosis so they could move a mass called a human being and have dreams and live lives and dance and stuff like that, right? Everything's trying to survive. Everything's trying to be graceful and everything's trying to be at peace. I don't think feeding your dog kibble from your local supermarket and then just going, oh, yeah, she got cancer. You gave her cancer. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what you did. Look at them dogs' teeth. The tooth decay, and your dog's wobbling down the road like this, right? And then you want to point at somebody that's working their dog and bringing their dog close to this, like, their union with themselves, you know, that like the dog can exert itself. This dog has got memories of doing Olympian things in her life. That's why she walks around with her head up. She's done incredible things, like the athletic feats she turns up to do enthusiastically, week in and week out. I wish I had a fighter like her. Do you know what I mean? Animals fight. I like the idea, you know what? A lot of black people that I grew up with are frightened of dogs. You go to South Africa, ask them what they think about dogs. Dogs were set on them through slavery and you know what I mean? Dogs. Yeah, but we fell in love with this dog. Why? Certain people and circumstances, very harsh and cruel circumstances, created this gladiator dog. And even though it went through some horrific situations to select the best, this dog is famous for its love and loyalty. And I think it's these aspects that inner city youths like me and all around the world, disenfranchised people, marginalised people that have been demonised and gone through the same sort of situations, we find a kinship and a familiarity with this gladiator dog. And the circumstances and people created supernatural reactions to those environments. We actually didn't break, we became stronger. And just like the dog, we're now vilified for our tenacious will.
Now I'm gonna put together, this is a raw food diet. It's high fat, organs, muscle meat, stomach, bull testicles, and bull blood, and some game. It's pure fat. Yeah, I buy this meat from people that have their own animals on their own land, so they know what they're feeding them. And also the game as well. They've killed themselves or sourced it from people that have killed them. So you have to check this as well, because there could be some buckshot still in there and stuff. And I know that this type of stuff is expensive. Then you have to make a choice. It's like you don't have to have a dog, you know? But it's like, you get a dog, and then you can't afford to feed it, you shouldn't have that dog. You know what I mean? So it's like, in order for you to have a dog, you run across to your supermarket and feed it that stuff, that kibble, which is the equivalent of bringing a child up on McDonald's. Breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea. Good probiotics, good vitamin C, good protein, fats. All the multivitamin for a dog and a human being are the organs. And the healthier the animal that these things come from, is the more energy goes into the dog. Same goes for human beings. So, I put all this in here and mix it up, and then I'll bag this up into daily portions to feed the dog after she works. She's never fed before she works. You put anything in a dog's stomach when they're working, you can cause them bleeding in the intestines, and there's a lot of energy goes into digesting, so that's energy the dog won't put into the work, and you'll cause them discomfort. So I basically feed them straight after working, and then I cave the dog, which is what they do when they eat. Most animals, especially prey animals, they'll find a place to calm down and switch off, to use all their energy for digestion. So I'll crate the dog after hard work and good feeding, so then she can get good sleep, release growth hormone, heal and grow. There's a few other things I add to the diet to basically open the blood vessels and stuff. That's citrulline and ginkgo, to get more nutrients into the dog's bone and muscles, which in return will give the dog a spiritual feeling of no vulnerability, nothing but potential. That dog psychologically is living a happy life. But when you give a dog issues, what translates in that dog's head is that he won't survive. That dog will suffer from depression, anxiety, and feel more like prey than predator because it's not operating properly, it's not fit, it's not sharp, and it has massive issues and illnesses going on from the junk food that you overfeed it. And not only just the food, it's also the crap water. This reconstituted water, which basically comes from our urine and feces, then they filter it and feed it back. I wouldn't give it to my kids. I don't drink it, and I wouldn't give it to my dog. So I've got a Berkeley, which basically filters all the shit out of the water on a high level. And then I add apple cider vinegar. And I think I'll post up what the benefits of all these things are on the screen. So that's basically, if you can see, a mix. When you've got a dog like this, it's the equivalent of having a very well-bred Arabian horse, racehorse. This dog is bred on the same level, if not better. Carefully bred, which makes her a joy genetically to work with. So when I add these things, it enhances her genetics. It makes her a joy to behold and be around. And these are bull's testicles. And I'll add these to the... So what I'll do is put 2 portions in here. So on a day of training, I'll feed her 1 portion, keep the other portion to the side, let that go off, turn a little bit, and the next day she'll get turned meat. Fresh meat, turned meat. And that's how I alternate it. About twice a week, I'll give the dogs herring, raw herring, but I tend not to give them too much fish because it binds to the iron and can make the dog a little bit anemic. Then I'll bag up the testicles. They're like supplements, you know. So she gets 1 in each meal. This is basically good for her iron.
What is this?
Blood, bull's blood. All that nice fat preserves your gloves as well. I'll give her this because she worked so hard today. She did basically a triathlon to make this film. Pineapple. Some berries. UCAAs. This green lip mussel powder. You can Google the benefits of this. It's like seaweeds. Very important for joints and tendons. MSM, I got this one. They process it from pine or something. I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. Some raw milk, kefir, good probiotics. L-citrulline. There's different seaweeds. Some shredded coconut. This helps, it's very abrasive in the gut and helps get rid of excess worm eggs and stuff like that that are in the gut. You eating all the berries, boy? Some cottage cheese. We all know that's good for you. This is what I was talking about, the water. This is pan the camera up, this is what you call a Berkeley. And this is the quality water that I give to the dogs. Sometimes I'll even put it in a copper jug and leave the water there for a while to infuse copper in it. And all these minerals are good to get nutrients into their bone structure and into their marrow bone. She's hungry. In the water. And now I'm going to release the beast. You can see she's not food aggressive. I can touch her when she's eating. Yeah.
Am I building the dog for violence? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's her fucking DNA. But there are conditions where that violence will get unleashed. And that's the right of every human being and every being on the planet. Don't take the piss. I don't take the piss with this dog. I don't walk down the street, intimidate people, anything like that. But you can't try to kill me in my sleep and that dog's in this house. We deserve to have real dogs like that. Not these fucking bollocks. Like, you colonizing these species and like cutting their balls off, like breeding shit into them so the dog can't breathe properly, so its primal instincts can't kick off. Right? And then you want to fucking demonize us because the animals are healthy and full of drive. Yeah, mistakes can happen. She might get into a row, but she won't kill anything because I'm the guardian. I understand her. Do you get what I'm saying? The mistakes will never be fatal. They'll be uncomfortable, but they won't be fatal. It's a good old dog, man, and I'm not going to give up on her like I didn't give up on myself. You know what I mean? I've got a certain nature as a person, yeah? You create the environment, it's going to be very difficult to get me to stop beating you. If I get on top, I'm going to do that. I'm a finisher, yeah? So I've got intellect where I can hold that spirit down in certain environments because, you know what I mean? Through certain psychological tricks and boundaries through religion and stuff like that. I go, you shouldn't do that, John. My drive is crazy. It's wild, you know? The dog doesn't have the intellect. That dog sees a cat, she's going, I want to murder it. I don't know why. They bred me like this. I don't know why I want to kill that cat. I want to kill that cat or that hedgehog or that rat. or whatever, anything that fucking moves, I want to have competition with it. That's her. Cool. But I think you can, the same, we've got fire in our houses, man. You just put a little grate around it, right? So the coal don't fall on the carpet and burn the house down. And we lived like that for hundreds of years. This dog is just fire, and I know how to put the grating around it. And when you look at this movie, you don't see violence, you see life, vibrant life.
Hello, good. Hello.
Yeah, coming back. Pop. Come on in. Come on in. Come on, Pop. Yeah, so today's a weight pulling day. On these days, because I've got to run as well with the dog, I use my sauna suit so I get a workout, you know what I mean? Get rid of some toxins through water. So I'm always healthy. If I'm always healthy, I can always turn up. If I always turn up and she's always healthy, it means we grow. Anytime we get ill or have an injury, it's a knockback in our progress, you know? So I've got to stay healthy in order to keep the dog healthy. It's a fair exchange. But yeah, I like this field because it's a bit rough, you know, it's got like, they've obviously cut the grass or whatever, so now it's turning into hay or whatever it is. It's drying up. So there's a lot of resistance on here as well, so it's, you know, the dog gets a good workout. But I always need an assistant with this job because it's based upon her chasing bait, you know, and us keeping the bait away from her as long as possible so that she gets a workout, and then in the end we give her the prize, you know what I mean, when she's, so it registers to her, oh, when I get to this level, I get the prize. So then in her brain, the next time she does it, she knows I've got to work to this intensity and I've got to work this hard for this amount of time to get the reward. Hold her good. Yeah. You won't be able to hold her like that. You have to hold her standing up. Oi, behave yourself. Hey! Stop her. Oh, there's a worm. Hey! As you can see, this dog is eager to work. She's eager to work. So it's important I get the equipment on her before her drive gets up. It will be just impossible. Hold her back. Yeah, bring her now. Yeah. Now behave. Right. Hold her, Karan. Hey, yeah, hold her.
Oh,
The
head?
harness, yeah. Hold her head. No, the collar. Alright, hold her tight, yeah? Keep her that way. No. That's it, lost control. Yeah, see?
Sorry. Something just tricked me.
I know. Now she's had a taste of the bait. Throw it that way, Karan. That's it. Stop. Stop. Just stay there. Come here now. Sorry, Karan.
What did you say?
Come here now. Got her?
Yeah.
Hold her tight. Ready, Ben? You'll have to go along with her, yeah? That's it.
Yep. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Now I'll get it off of her again.
Yeah.
So now she's got her prey. When I take it off of her, drive will come up and she'll be able to run back. It's hard work. It's 12 kilos dead drag. Not like when they're dragging chains, it just slides, you know. You really got to work on this. What's wrong with you?
Something is not.
Bit of grass?
No. I didn't eat grass.
You didn't eat grass?
No.
Nope. No. Come on, let me find a gap. Where's the gap? Come on. Oh. Where's the gap? Come on, rebite. That's it. There you go. Yep.
Go get a spare battery for the camera.
Battery's done?
Yeah.
So what are you doing then?
Huh? Oh, no, I'll just wait.
So you see how the program works. Usually she does all speed after the day that, when she finishes her fast, that's at all speed, like the treadmill stuff. And then I put the food in her. And then her body soaks up all that moisture. And so she's a bit heavier today. It's almost like a fighter after he's made weight. And then you feed them and then they put on pounds, you know what I mean? So she's heavier today, so I can do the heavier work, the weight pulling work with her and stuff like that. Come on. Careful, not too close to her. Okay. Right. Don't do it so close to the dog. So with this work, yeah, this work is more for bulking up her back end, you know, with the bungee. So she's not and like pulling on the end of it and getting choked. It's a lot better you put it on a harness. Then the dog doesn't have anything, issues in its mind, so it'll work thoroughly because the body's comfortable. So there's no, that bungee stops the, see the resistance? It's a constant workout. So be careful of the quality of bungee, or I don't know what you call these, elastic bands or whatever that you put on the dog. Because I had one on the dog before and it snapped. So these dogs, even though they're tiny, they're a lot stronger than they look. And the same at the end again, she gets the prize, you know. So she's always enthusiastic and knows that there's going to be a nice ending, which is in complete harmony with her nature, because this is what you call carrying now. Like she's killed the prey and she's carrying it. And that's why it takes a breaking stick to get it off of her, you know. Certain dogs you can out and stuff like this, but I got this dog when she was 5 years old. And basically once her driver's up, simple commands of out and all of this stuff is not working with this particular dog, so I have to use a breaking stick to get her off.
Expectation has murdered the will of many that were just shy of their mark. Don't limit yourself with expectation. Only allow yourself direction. I go too far to find out the possibilities of how far a human can go. If trauma doesn't relax, we linger in the same experience. We stop breathing properly, and the consequences are fatal.